Well, hello and welcome to Let's Get Acquainted with Hillary Gooden. I'm so glad to have you here. And first, I want to say Happy New Year. This is the first show of 2022. And so here we are. I'm glad that you made it. I made it. I pray that all is well with you and your families, your businesses, and everything else that your hands are made to touch in this new year. And so, our theme, January's theme, International Creativity Month. And last month we talked about procrastination. Now it's time to get over that and get busy doing what it is that you want to do, desire to do, scared to do it afraid, and let's get moving. So we want to talk about being creative. And that's what we're going to do with my special guest, Treena Edwards. And I'm so excited to have her on the show tonight. And I pray that you're going to glean some great information from her because she's doing something that's a little different from most. And so I'm glad that she'll be able to come on and let us know what it is she's doing and who she's helping. And you may, if it's not you, it may be somebody that you know or heard that said they're interested in doing this thing that she does. So tune in. Make sure as you come in that you share the broadcast out. Let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. And I'm coming in from the Chicago area, not far. I'm in Harvey, right outside of Chicago. And then we're going to find out where my guest is coming in from. Once we come back from this commercial, this is going to give us a little time to share this out, tag a friend, and then we're going to get on into our discussion for the night, International Creativity Month. And again, happy New Year. So here's our little break. We're going to play this and then we're going to get right on to it. Hi, busy women leaders. I'm talking to you. Are you juggling your family, your business, your career, and your health? Afraid that if just one ball drops to the ground, everything could fall apart because everybody's looking at you. You're stressed and overwhelmed. You're looking for answers, for help that's real help, for solutions. I have Vibrant Life Solutions that can help you. I am Hillary Gooden, the Vibrant Life Coach, author, speaker, lymphologist, and pastor. I empower busy women leaders with strategies to reduce stress and anxiety while increasing energy, clarity of mind, better sleep, better health, and vitality. Oh yeah, and boost your immunity. If you're ready for that, you say, I need that in my life right now. Let's connect. You can reach me at www.hillarygooden.com. You can direct message me on Facebook or LinkedIn at Hillary Gooden. Or else if you would like to get on a free 20-minute strategy call, a clarity call, go to bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. That's bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. I absolutely believe you got the power to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life. All right, so we're going to go right ahead. I'm going to bring in my guest, and my guest for tonight is Treena Edwards. Let's just make her welcome.
Hello.
Hi. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. I already told everybody that I'm coming in from the Chicagoland area. Where are you coming in from?
I am coming in from cold Michigan right now.
Cold Michigan and cold Chicago, honey. So I was talking to somebody yesterday and she said, oh my goodness, it was so cold. I had to go out and get my shopping done. And when I went, they run out of everything because everybody was out and just shopping at the grocery store. And I couldn't find no tomatoes and no cucumbers. She just had me laugh. And then I said, well, how cold is it where you are? She said, girl, it's like 50 degrees. I said, okay, wait a minute. She's down in North Carolina. I was like, you know what? I don't even want to hear it.
Right. I know you did.
Yes, and so I'm so glad to have you on the show tonight. And we
Thank
just welcome everyone to come in. Make sure people, as you come in, share the broadcast out. I heard sharing is caring. And
That's
so
right.
share it out and then let us know where you're coming in from because we really would love to know.
Right.
This is our first show for 2022. So thank you for helping me to kick off the first show
Of
of the
course.
year, Miss Treena. It's going to be fun and set the tone for a wonderful year.
Okay.
And so uh, this is our theme for tonight, and our theme for not just for tonight, but for the month.
Okay.
This is the International Creativity Month.
Mm.
International Creativity Month. Where is it at? There it is.
Okay.
International Creativity Month. And so I thought this would be a great one to start the new year because we ended with the National Procrastination Awareness Month in December.
Mhm.
And so
Yes.
we know how we all have those times where we, procrastinate. Do you do that or no? That's not you.
Shh.
We won't tell. And so now it's time to get creative.
Yes.
Be creative. Get those creative juices flowing for the beginning of the year and just start doing. Like Nike says, nothing to it but to do
All
it. At
right.
least to
That's
start. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight.
okay.
And I want to see who we have with us here. Oh, we have with us tonight Miss Sophie. Yes, and she's tuning in from Australia. Thank
Okay.
you so much for coming in. We appreciate you.
Right.
And just kind of join in the conversation. We say something you want to make your comment known, just put it there and we can put it up here on the screen. So let's go ahead and get into it. I always try to find out who is the founder for the thing. And for it, the International Creativity Month, it was founded by a gentleman named Randall Munson.
Okay.
He's a motivational speaker, but he's a motivational speaker and a professional clown. And this being a professional clown is something he always wanted to do since he was a child.
Okay.
And somewhere along the way, an opportunity came along. He was able to go to the uh, clown university or profession to learn how to be a clown. And he actually travels the not just the United States, but he travels different places speaking as a motivational speaker and also things that he do as a professional clown. So,
Okay.
and that was coming from the corporate world of being an executive trainer for IBM.
Hmm.
And so right there, you can see sometimes that creativity is something that we got locked up on the inside of us. What do you think
Yes.
about that?
I think it's always nice to be able just to be yourself. Be yourself if that's what you love to do. I've learned over the years that we just need to be able to loosen up. Okay. Especially where you said corporate world, there's
Hmm.
a persona that you have to always be professional and business attire. And if you loosen up and do something different, then people look at you strange. No,
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
balance, you know.
Yeah, like something's wrong with you because I could imagine you could not go into a meeting with his clown nose on or his clown thing.
Right,
Totally
right.
unacceptable.
Well, I can understand. Sometimes you want to take off that professionalism and just loosen up and just be you, be goofy sometimes, and you're still okay. You know what I mean?
I love that because I was a CFO of a behavioral health center in Chicago for
Okay.
33 years. Okay, and no way did I think when I walked in those doors that I was going to be there 33 years later. Although I went from being a line staff to a manager to the CFO
Wow.
position,
Hmm.
but there were when had my staff, they worked well. They loved what they did as accountants. And I love that they love being accountants because I had gotten to the place where I didn't love being an accountant anymore. I didn't want to be there anymore.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I came in one day with some hula hoops. They were like, okay, so what is that?
Right.
What is that
Right.
all about? I
No.
said, you need to loosen, like you just said, you need to loosen up, have some
Me too.
fun sometime. And so sometimes what I would do, I would put on this song, and I can't even remember what it was, but when they heard that song, they know it was loosen up time. You gotta loosen up. And I'll pull out that either you can dance around or you need to get the hula hoop or something. And
Oh,
it was so amazing. They, because you can laugh and release some stress. And
uh-huh.
then just only like for just a few minutes, then we stop, turn the music off. It's time to get back to work. You
Right.
know. But it was
Yes.
just things in me. It's like, man, y'all work. I'm glad you work
Right.
hard, but my
Yes.
God,
Yes. I learned that the hard way, but I'm glad I
it's
learned it.
something.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So
Mhm.
one of our first talking point for tonight, Miss, I'm not sure she's still with us, but if you
So,
have found that you are, uh, you need to loosen up, you feel like you need to this the year you're going to loosen up, put a one in the comment because it's time to loosen up. We've been through a
I
lot.
will put one in the comment.
I know, right? We have been through a lot as
Yes.
a
Yes.
global community in the
Mhm.
last couple of years.
Well,
So
yeah.
it's time to get creative, and a lot of people are doing just that. And
Right.
I'm sure in your line of work that you're finding that, and you're going to talk about it in the second half. But you're
Hmm.
finding that people are ready to do something different,
Oh,
not just
yes.
what's expected.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm. So
Right.
not everyone. Would you read this one for me?
Not everyone is creative, but we can all benefit from having some level of creativity in our lives.
Yeah. And so what does that mean when you see that comment to you?
Well, it means a lot because for a long time I was the busy person. I was the I had to get it done person, and until I learned that I had a person that would come alongside of me, and all they did was joke and laugh, and then I kind of realized that the Lord had allowed that person to come into my life to teach me how to loosen up some. Okay, I
Mhm.
would get a little frustrated sometimes because that's all they did. I'm like, okay, we kind of handle some business now, but in my perspective, it was just fun time, fun time, fun time. And then when we went our separate ways, I had to go handle my business. Why, I'm thinking like, okay, that's not fair.
Mhm, mhm.
So, long story short, I believe once I really kind of looked at the atmosphere there, the Lord was trying to teach me how to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
And, it's
Yeah.
okay to, and I really appreciate that. It was kind of a subtle way he made that come to my mindset, but I was so glad that,
Yeah. That's really good. Sometimes, like you say, we have to be taught how
yeah,
to loosen up,
right,
and we have to get work done.
right.
You know,
Yes, we do.
I understand we have to get work done. It's not all play, but
Right,
when we can have some balance,
right.
because that being all business, business, business is stressful.
It
And what I
is.
know now is that continual stress can set up in your body and make you sick,
Yes,
you
yes.
know. And so as a certified lymphologist dealing with the lymphatic system, I know that cycle, that stress can cause inflammation. Inflammation is like at the base of almost every sickness that is. So
Wow.
you got to get a handle on this
Yeah, you
stress, and
you
learning how
do.
to loosen up, learning how to laugh, you know,
Mhm,
shake
mhm.
it off, do something.
Really, you
So I
do.
think,
I'm telling you.
yeah, I think
Thank
this year, these last 2 years have caused a lot of people to dig in and find out, you know what, I always like baking cookies. And then they found themselves baking cookies, and people said, these are good, you should sell them. And now they're in the cookie business.
right.
And they don't want
Yes,
to go back to their job.
it has kind of
Hmm.
forced us to be creative. These
Yes.
last couple of years has forced us to be creative, forced us to think up outside of the box. A lot of people have created their own jobs because they were forced to. They didn't have a job to go to.
Right.
So, I mean, there was a lot of disadvantages, but there was some advantages.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people are gone from here. You know, I
Yes.
I have some that hit home from in my family as
Mhm.
well. But
Yeah.
I so many people that I've seen tap into that creativity. And you know, it's just like you said, sometimes God put you in a position to become who you already are, but you're not allowing that person, that real you, to be you. That makes
Right.
sense?
Yes. Yeah, it sure
That's
does.
that's what I have found.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to move on to our next talking point because I don't want to go over into your time.
Okay.
And the next point is that this month, International Creativity Month, is
Mm-hmm.
meant to celebrate those visionaries that think outside the box. You have some people that seem like you were talking about the person that's happy, that are natural at just having that balance. Kind of seem like they have kind of a balance,
Okay.
or those people that have ideas, just loads and loads of ideas to do this and do that, and can figure out how to get things done in ways that other people play it safe. You
Mm-hmm.
just tell me what to do. You ever have that any work with people that just say, just tell me what to do?
Yes, yes, yes. I've
I know
I've worked with both sides. I've been that person trying to, I want to say follow the leader, but follow the instructions. And then I had other people that was like, okay, just tell me what to do. So really need both. It's kind of like a
mhm,
sandwich. You're in the middle,
yeah,
and you're trying to learn, and then you also you want to teach, you want to be able to pour into someone. So
yeah,
it's I feel it's necessary to have both, be in the middle, so that you're always
yeah,
growing and you're not being selfish at the same time. You're willing to share with someone else to help them come out of their box.
exactly. And that leads us to our next talking point, and that is it encourages people to step outside their comfort zones.
Right.
You know, and I've been pushed outside of my comfort zone a lot of times. And you know, just learning that I can do a lot more than I think I can. And
Oh.
sometimes that comfort zone makes you feel like this is what all I'm supposed to do, or all I'm supposed to be.
Mhm.
And God created us to keep becoming,
Oh, yes, that's true.
right?
I believe that.
What's your take on that?
As far as coming out of the comfort zone,
Yeah.
um, wow, a lot. I mean, that sounds like home to me. I was a comfort and still coming out, but that was my place. The comfort zone. That was my place. I love to be. I had the
Hmm.
mentality of I'm not bothering you, so don't bother
Don't
me.
bother me.
Just there, and
Yeah.
so, but there's a point in time when your comfort zone is not so comfortable anymore. It's not
Yes,
so comforting anymore. And I
that's right.
believe, like you said, that's the time when, the Lord is trying to stretch you. And the thing is, are we willing to allow Him to, and stop fighting? Like you said, what He's trying to pull out of us that's already in us, that we're not willing to go that extra mile.
Hmm. Yeah, sometimes when
Yes.
it's time for change in your life,
Hmm.
your comfort zone is no longer comfortable, and you feel it, even though you try to stick with it, just like people that want to leave their jobs. And it's time. It's
Yes.
God's time for them to do it. But you
Hmm.
think about, the security, the insurance, and the different the regular paycheck and all
Yes.
of that stuff, but
Right.
yet you're finding yourself no longer just comfortable. It bothers you every day because you're supposed to be doing something more, something else,
That's
you
true.
know. And
Yes.
when it's time for change, it can make it very uncomfortable. Just like the mother bird, when it gets time for them to fly, the
Hmm.
baby birds to fly, what do they do? Do you know what they do?
The
The
mother
mother,
bird, she pulls the baby out the nest, correct?
well, she'll drop them to try to get them to fly, but she starts putting rocks.
Oh,
Before you made it nice and comfortable, but then
okay.
it started putting rocks and hard things in there where it's not comfortable.
Okay, I
It's
didn't
not
want
as
to say
comfortable
that.
as it
I'm like,
used
I
to
hope
be.
you don't just let them out the nest.
Yes. And so, that comfort zone, man, we all have them,
Right.
but there comes a time when we're challenged in that comfort zone.
Oh,
And
yes.
for those of you that are listening, do you feel like you're in your comfort zone right now with a change on the verge and you're like on that fence? If that's you, put a 2 in the comment because that place is a scary place, and that's why this January, the beginning of the year is always a time where people are more apt to take some chances,
Mm-hmm.
doing something new,
Right.
trying something new.
Correct.
And so that's why, this creativity, being creative is a good time. This is a good time as well as any time, actually, especially when it's the Lord. When is the best time to follow what the Lord says? Now,
Yes.
right now.
That's true.
Oh, wow. So thank you as you come in. I see we have someone, but as you come in, please do let us know where you're coming in from.
Yeah.
And so we can shout you out. And I'm going to move on to our next talking point here.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, how can you tap into that creativity on the inside of you? What are some ways that when you need to come up with some new ideas or whatever, do you have like a process?
Well, I'm the type of person who has multiple ideas just, raging in my head all the time. So I have to keep a notebook handy so that
Mm,
I write them down. I may not get to them immediately, but I write them down and I try to focus on one. I have to focus on one at a time so that I can implement them and all the way to completion. All right,
yeah.
so that's just a lot of that's the way I do my process because if I don't, it becomes overwhelming because there's so many ideas that's roaming around in your head
Hmm.
and I focus on the one that I can produce the results with the fastest normally, and so that's
Okay.
how I work on pulling out creativity outside of me. I have a lot of vision boards around me now,
Yeah.
um, so I
Me
have
too.
to
Look at that.
write. Yeah, I have to write it out. So something about writing it out and putting it on
Yeah.
paper, not on a computer. It makes me feel much better.
Me too. I enjoy writing things out with my pen on paper. I,
Right.
I still like it old school like that. And
Yes.
then you in the comments, do you if you do journal, you write those notes down. Are you one that you got your Google? I don't even know what app. Well, I do have a notes app on my phone that I started making use of, and
Hmm.
I'm making use of my Google Docs because then I can pull it up on my iPad, on my phone, on my computer. I love that. But
Right.
I still have journals. I love
Right.
journaling and writing things out. And
Hmm.
for those of you that are watching, do you find yourself journaling or writing down those creative thoughts that keep on flowing? Because if you don't jot it down somewhere, sometimes you'll totally forget what that great idea was.
Yes, you will. I'm
That
guilty.
ever happened? Maybe that's why
Yes,
you write it down now.
I have to because I was like,
But
that
I
was a
know
good idea. What was
I
it?
know I hate when that happens. And it happens to me that and I said getting in the habit of writing it down, jotting it down when it comes to you. So
Right.
that's one of the good ways of having it electronically because you might not have your notebook nearby.
Right.
But jotting that thing down is one way. Creativity, talking about it, well, you can't talk all things to all people, but having somebody you can bounce ideas off of is
Hmm.
another great way of pulling something out of yourself or helping somebody to pull ideas out of themselves. That's
Yes.
what I find. There's so many people that say, well, I'm not creative. I don't have no ideas like you seem to have. Well, you gotta have something,
Right.
you know, but they
Hmm.
just don't recognize it as being something that's creative. So,
Right. That's true.
how you tap into it, being open to new ideas is always a good thing as well.
That's true. Yes, yes.
Yeah, because sometimes people are so closed mind, they just want things to stay the same.
Oh, yes.
And change is just a part of life,
It is.
evolving. Because, like I was saying earlier, we should always be becoming.
Mm-hmm. That's
Who
true.
we
That's
were, who we were in 2021 is different than who we gonna be now in the new year.
yes. Hopefully, let's hope so.
I
I don't
know,
want
right?
to stay stuck. No,
Absolutely.
that's what.
It's nothing. I hate being stuck.
So do I.
Mm-mm. And so our next talking point, uh, I wanted to um, I wanted to I just want to get through these because we're like at well, we're at 26 after the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
And so this month, International Creativity Month, is also geared to help getting people to create something exciting and new in your life. This is a great time that if you've always thought about something that you wanted to do or you wanted to become, now is a good time to try it.
It
You
is.
know, if it's not a lot, a little, taking
Mhm.
baby steps at something. Sometimes people think they have to go all out, and again, they get overwhelmed and then they draw back and just stay the same. What
That's
do you
true.
think?
Yeah, I know. I've been there too. I've been. You get all excited. You got this big idea in your head, and things don't come out like you anticipated, then you kind of draw back, like maybe that wasn't what I really should have did. But actuality, like you said, you have to take baby steps. You have to be willing to take baby steps and trust the process. Trust the
Hmm.
process. So yeah, I can relate to that. I've been there as well.
You know, the analogy just came to my mind that either it feels like you're out on the water with Jesus in the boat, and he said, "Step out." See, like he told Peter,
Yes, Lord
when Peter
Jesus.
stepped out on the water, and he was walking until he lost focus, and he ended up having to get back in that boat. Or either it's stepping from the shore, from the
Mhm.
shoreline, a little bit, and a little
Right.
bit more, and a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, some
Hmm.
people jump all in.
Yeah.
But it's
Yes.
okay if you're taking those baby steps from the side, from the shoreline. That's
That's true.
perfectly okay. That's the only
Yeah.
way you're going to be able to do it is to test it out. Keep testing it, and you'll find maybe by the end of the year you're totally somebody that you always thought you were on the inside, but you were afraid. Maybe people wouldn't accept me. Maybe people
Yeah.
wouldn't support me. Maybe people wouldn't believe in me. Maybe
Right.
what if it what if they it don't come out right and I fail at it and I have to
Oh,
go back? What about that?
hmm, yeah, I understand that as well. It's like, you get caught up in people pleasing, you fear of being rejected.
Yes.
How will the people receive me? Will they receive me?
Right.
All kind of things, but you have to trust God. You have to trust God. When it's
Mhm.
all said and done, the Bible tells us if God is for us, who can be against us? So we
Mhm.
have to be as Joshua, as he told Joshua, be strong and courageous. Only
Yeah.
be strong and courageous because he is with us. I am with you. All right. So that can be your motivation.
Mhm.
And yeah, you don't want to fall into
That's
that people pleasing.
that's one of the things that I have been speaking to myself.
Hmm.
I am bold and very courageous. Because sometimes the vision that God gives you is so big until it can be, you're like, whoa, really? But you want to keep moving forward. You don't want to not do it.
Correct.
Not when the God is telling you this is who you're going to become. And you're like, okay, if you say so, I'm all for it.
Hmm.
One last point here is many people work in jobs that require them to be creative.
Hmm.
And we kind of talked about that on the top part.
That's okay.
But yeah, we just want everybody to know that being creative is can be fun, it can be exciting, and just having something new. Even when you do creative things, something new and exciting, something fresh, it's healthy for your brain.
Mhm.
That being able to think, you're not just thinking the same cycle. You disrupt that cycle with new thoughts, with
Mhm.
fresh ideas.
Mhm.
That helps your brain to be healthy.
Yes,
You
that's
know, that's a good thing.
yes.
So think about it like that. It's not just about what you're doing, but you're helping your health
Right.
also.
And it's also encourages you once you accomplish it and you realize that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was gonna be.
Right. And then it'll boost your confidence.
There you go.
Yeah. So I love it. And so here we are at the second half.
Okay.
And we really want to know, this is Let's Get Acquainted.
All
We
right.
really want to know about you, Miss Treena. And
Okay.
so I'm going to let you have the floor to open up and share what it is you would want us to know.
Okay.
And I might jump back in with some questions based on something that you may say. But I wanted you to let us know who you are and what you're doing in this world to help other people. And I'm going to give you the floor at this time.
Okay. Well, thank you. First of all, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be on your platform tonight. First of all, I have a lot of things going on in my life to help make the world a better place. First of all, I am a pastor. Okay, I'm a pastor of Refresh and Renew Christian Ministries, where it was birthed out of a desire and a passion to be able to help depressed single women, to just to be my life to be an example to them that the things that I've gone through, that they can also, just by just the examples of the things that I went through, that God will still sustain them and help them. I am a cancer survivor. I've had kidney issues. I had depression issues. So a lot of that caused me to come forward to, not only help people who were discouraged, but also, little did I know, when God called me in the midst of one of my uh, most devastating health issues, that he called me so that not only that I could help and encourage others, but I was actually helping and encouraging myself. I didn't know that till maybe a year later, but when I started showing up and I was obedient to what he told me to do, I was being refreshed and renewed, with the word of God. So I like to say I feed people both spiritually and mentally. Okay. So on the other aspect, I am a foodie. I love to cook. I don't know when I haven't loved to cook, but I've been in the food industry for over 10, 12 years at least, maybe more. I started cooking for my family, my church. Then I went to culinary school for about 2 years, got an associate's degree. I worked in a nursing home as a sous chef for like 6 or 7 years. Went to another nursing home. I opened up my own restaurant. I started a catering business. What else? And then I got into the food truck business. Um, it has been in there about 6 seasons. We are a seasonal food truck business. We normally function from April until September. So I had the privilege and honor of doing that. I'm a partner in that industry. So food has always been my passion. I've always loved it. And now I am teaching others. I am teaching cooks how to turn their passion for cooking into profits for food truck startup strategies. So that's my journey in a little nutshell. So I just love helping people.
That is amazing. And so I love the ministry that God has given you, helping other women. Did you say who are depressed? What was it again?
Well, that's how it was birthed. And then in the midst of me helping the depressed single women, then I became ordained. So it's not just women anymore.
Okay,
Okay.
wonderful.
Yes,
Praise
it's called
God. It's
Refresh and Renew. Yes.
refresh and renew. I love it. It's just
Yes.
you never know. This is all a part of it, that being creative, because God is creative,
Yes, he is. Yes, he
right? And
is.
so sometimes he can make fresh and renewed people out of the things that you're going through.
Oh,
And
yes.
you'll find out when you get on the other side, like you are now, you say, wow, this was not just about me.
Yes.
This was to help so many other people. And I understand where they coming from because I've been there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah,
I love that.
that's it. That's it.
So with the food, let's see, you said how did you get into the actual food truck business? I mean,
Well,
what was the first time that you were out in the truck, or the idea came to do it, or did somebody come to you and say, I want you to do this with me? Or how
well,
did that really?
the strangest thing about it is my partner came to me, asked me did I want to get in the food truck business. I was already doing catering and stuff, and by that time I was well known in my town as a cook. Okay, they had no cooking experience, so I was trying to understand how they was getting into it. But
Right.
they, which it really we kind of meshed together because we use each other's strengths and weaknesses, and so it worked all together. They
Mhm.
worked more on the maintenance side, the fixing things and
Yeah,
all that other stuff, and I was on the cooking side as far as the food and interacting with people. I was the best one with the customers. You have to
yeah,
know who's the best. Put them
exactly.
before the people. If you don't have someone that's able to deal with customer service, then they probably should stay in the back,
Yeah,
for the
for real.
business. So that's how I got into it. Just a collaboration, and it's been a great journey. I would not. It's been a great learning journey. I wouldn't trade it. It's amazing.
So tell me, is there one memorable moment, or you're not doing it at that level of being on the actual truck now. You're going more into teaching, but from your time, do you have a moment that sticks in your mind that when you think about it, it makes you chuckle about that time when you was on the truck?
On the truck, well, what I'll say about the truck is that um it forced me, as we talk about comfort zone, it forced me out of my comfort zone as far as interacting with other people, you know, getting to know other people, just opening up,
Yeah,
like being the I guess the face of the other company. They
yeah,
would, ask for me, and because I was not so I was kind of open, I was open to speaking to people. And one of the things that now that I think about that, I really remembered when I was on the food truck, I was at a sporting event, and then there was a young man that came up to get something from the truck, and he said, "You're the prayer lady, ain't you?" I just laughed. I said, "Yes, that's me."
yeah. So he didn't just want the food; he wanted the prayer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
and
said,
so
"I
that kept
see you
people.
online. Ain't you the prayer lady?" I said, "Oh my gosh, no, you
That's
didn't."
that's how they recognize you. So that brand wasn't just about how good the food was. Evidently, there was some good prayer too.
So
Yes, I love that.
that threw me back. I was like, "Oh my god, yeah." So, but it's been very. I really enjoyed that experience.
Hmm.
I tell people I wouldn't have been in it so long if I didn't love what I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And
Yes.
so, have you've helped people that have actually gone through to get there? You have to have certain kind of licenses, I imagine,
Yes, yes,
to
that's what I
do that.
yes, that's what I teach in my my course, my food truck startup. It's called Blueprint, the food truck startup course. It's 9 stages. There's 9 stages you need to go through to prepare to, for the food truck startup course. And that's one of the things you have to take, it's called a food food, what is it, serve safe, serve safe certification,
Mhm.
letting people know that you know how to serve safe food to the public, basically. So yeah,
Okay.
there are some things that you have to know and pass,
Mhm.
and you have to have that license placed inside of your truck, just in case they come to, somebody on the truck needs to be certified. Let's put it like
Yeah.
that. Not
Yeah.
everybody, but at least one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
Right.
And so this certification, is this something that you're in Washington, you can teach this to people in other states, or they have their own certification processes per state? How does that work?
Well, what you can do, you can take it online. There's a program you can take it online. You can do it there. Now, that's the best way to do it. Now they have people that will teach the food service program, and then the person could take it there in their home. But alongside of them, they have to kind of monitor the person, so that they're not like looking in the book. It's kind of like
Yeah.
they'll be sitting at the computer and taking the test, and you may be somewhere else and across the room just reading a book or something. Just monitor and make sure they're taking the test the right way.
So I'm trying to understand. So it's a national test?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So when you become certified, you can move from state to state with that certification.
Yes, yes. Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. So your program is 9 stages of just working them through so that they're prepared to take that exam?
No, my course is 9 stages to get started running your food truck business. Taking that test is part of is inside of one of the stages. Like you
Okay.
have to go through like the research stage. You have to go through a stage called choosing your concept, the business writing stage, marketing stage, purchasing a truck. There's just 9 stages that you should go through so that you can start a lucrative food truck business. All
Yeah.
those stages let you know what you need to think about, need to go apply for, in
Mhm.
your state or a city, wherever you're going to start your business at.
Okay.
Because
So
each
I heard
state has different requirements.
okay, that's what I was wondering when I was talking about the exam. I was
Okay.
wondering,
Yeah.
is it different from state to state?
No, no. They're normally the same with that exam. But like
Okay.
if you go into your state just to get a permit,
License.
you
Yeah.
have to know what your zoning is, all
Yeah.
that in your state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there was a big upset here in Chicago during 2020 during the well, not the pandemic. Maybe it was in 2020. It might have been in 2019. This is before things. There was a real issue because the food trucks are becoming
Oh,
more and more prominent in the downtown area.
yes,
And
yes,
you had food trucks that were parking outside of restaurants or
yeah,
maybe too close. I'm sure, like you were just saying, you have to know what the rules are.
right. And
And
you
they
can't
were too
park
close to
anywhere.
the restaurants, and it was a
Yeah,
big
that's
issue.
another thing. Zoning. You can't just park anywhere. You can get fined for that and, cause an uproar, like you said.
Yeah, it was in the news for some time. I was like, "Oh my goodness, they need to get a handle on that." And so I was saying here in Chicago, once in the summertime, they have this food truck festival, and it's held at the baseball park, the White Sox baseball park. And so you pay you go online and you sign up to be able to get inside the event, and
Hmm.
then there are just all of these different trucks that are there,
Yep.
with all different types of food.
Yes.
You mentioned you have to have a concept. What is that involved? I just thought that was interesting to just hear you saying you have to know what your concept is.
Well, just concept is another word for idea. You want to make sure that your idea is gonna fit in the marketplace where you are. Okay, like maybe you say you want to do a pancake truck. Do the people in your city really want pancake trucks? That probably wouldn't be the best concept.
Right, right.
you
What's
know,
the what's the
the
craziest
frog legs,
concept?
and I don't know. You
Right.
have to know what your city, and you have to listen to what your city is asking for. It's all about supply and demand. If you got 10 barbecue trucks there in Chicago, why you want to
Maybe
start
not.
another one? That might
Yeah.
not be a good concept. It's going to take longer time for you to build up your clientele, your rapport. It's a longer time for them to figure out why yours is better than the other one. You
Right.
gotta work harder at being unique.
What is the craziest concept you ever heard or the most outlandish?
Well,
Or have you heard anything that make you say, "Oh, wait a minute."
well, I haven't. Well, we have a lot of different concepts, and when we have a lot of different nationalities, in
Mhm.
my eyes I may think is strange, but like your culture may eat that every day. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say the name of the truck, but it was a vegan truck, which is fine, but it was they were originally from another country. So
Mhm.
as an American, I couldn't really quite perceive it, but apparently it was doing well. They were parked right next to us. So it's kind of hard to be like judgmental, especially when
Mhm.
you don't know the how much of that culture you have in your city. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
We had one truck that did just grilled cheese sandwiches,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, there was no meat on the sandwich. I mean, I
Hmm.
tried one. When I go to different trucks, I always ask for their
Yeah.
best seller, and it was
Yeah.
pretty good. But I was still hungry because there wasn't no meat in there. Okay, so
Yeah.
it varies.
And I guess it's, you have to find what works for you and
Right,
then get in that lane. And like I was listening to our coach, I
yeah,
was listening to Miss Bev, and she said, when you find what's something that's working, you got to put gas on it, put the gas on it, and just go for it. Put your
yes,
foot on the gas and go for it.
yes.
Yeah, so that's grilled cheese. It is, and that's what they know. They know how to do best,
Right, right.
and
So
it's working.
that's right.
Then, yeah, it's working for you. Then okay, can't be mad at that.
Yep. There
Yeah,
was a Dutch truck. I seen a Dutch truck. There's just so many different variety of trucks that I've seen. So
yeah, that's just wonderful. Because I know that some of the restaurants, like I was telling somebody just a couple of weeks ago, I was out at a Home Depot and there was a truck outside that I'm used to the restaurants around town, and they may have them in other cities, and I don't want to mention it either right
yeah,
now.
right.
But to see that because there was so many challenges with the restaurant business, they had got this particular restaurant had a food truck,
Hmm.
and they were outside the Home Depot doing pretty good too. And
Right.
I was like, wow, that's a great idea that they got creative and said we got to find what's a way that we could, find a way to win,
Right.
find a way to make this thing work. And I
That's
saw
right.
another business with a food truck. I was out at a mall outside of Burlington, and I saw this truck, and I was thinking, what are those people over there? They must be giving away something free. I couldn't figure why that truck was there. And when
Hmm.
I saw people come away with little things of ice cream, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
a ice cream um, parlor. They still call it ice cream parlor. That's been in the city for years,
Hmm.
and they only open in the summer months.
Okay.
But things have been so crazy. They're open all the time now, and now they got food trucks. that were going around. And because they've been around so long and people have moved out of the neighborhood, to see that name for a lot of people brought back, like, oh, I know, you know what I mean? And they were able to pick up customers who were used to be customers, but spread out,
Okay.
and just going to where they are. So I know food truck business is not like it's been. It's just, and it's something that's going to be around a while. What do you think about that?
I think it is. And that's another way people are being creative.
Yeah.
Because first of all, a lot of a lot of restaurants are going out of business.
Hmm.
Or either they're turning into just drive through only.
Yes.
Um, there's a lot of people that don't want to go out to eat. They're still a little nervous.
Hmm.
Okay. So they rather just pick up their food and go. That's going to be an advantage. This is given a great opportunity for small businesses to come in and shine and show how unique they are because of the big chains that are closing. So this
Yeah.
is our time to emerge and say,
Yeah.
okay, they may be closed, but we do it this way, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great opportunity. There's a lot of resources out here now because of COVID and the variant. What's going on? They're
Hmm.
trying to help people get back something, So there's
Yeah.
grants. There's a lot of different programs out here to help people get started.
Man, this is really wonderful. And I know you were supposed to be leaving. I didn't mean to keep you so long,
That's okay.
but
I'll be there.
okay.
I have time.
I had a question in mind as you were talking. Do you find that there's a certain age category of people that are getting more into the food truck line?
Well, the people, the people that were, I noticed that were in it, they're older.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
I'm
Are
gonna
you seeing
say,
younger, like I'm thinking like 30s and 40s age
well, they
people.
are now, but like the time frame that I've been in it, a lot of people that I encounter, they're in their 60s. So maybe
Okay.
they're retired and want to do something different. But now
Yeah.
I see that a lot of younger people under 60 are trying to get involved. And the only problem is that they're not doing taking the proper courses to get involved in the industry, which is making it bad for those who are already in it. So
Yeah.
that causes problems when they try to get like licenses and when they try to do things not the improper way. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you call it? They skim on different things,
Yeah.
and it makes it difficult because a lot of everyone have to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, that's
so I want them to be mindful of that. Just do it the right way. Skimming
yeah.
is not the right way.
It is best business for everybody.
Right, right, right.
Hmm.
So
Well, I'm so glad to get acquainted with you, and then you got the whole smack dab on it with Jesus and the Holy Spirit,
yeah,
and just being able to lend your expertise to those that are coming into it, like you said, switching gears from
yes,
actually being on the food truck, but taking that experience and that know-how, the good and the bad of it,
right,
to help other people that are coming into it. So I think that's a wonderful
yes,
position to be in,
yes. Thank you.
and lending that creativity to help people to pull out of them the things that they may not even know
Right,
that's in them that they can do.
that's right. Well,
I love
thank
it.
you.
So thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Yeah.
How can let's see, we did have if you're interested to get in um to connect, how can people connect with you on social media, first of all?
Well, one of the ways you can connect with me on social media, I'm on Facebook as Treena Edwards. You can on my personal page. If you wanna join my food truck business Facebook group, Food Truck Started with Treena, you can look up that Facebook community on Facebook. Or else you can reach out to me if you want to schedule an appointment and see how I may be able to support you with getting started with your own food truck business. Just schedule a appointment over at bit.ly/Treena. Let us talk. And I would love to talk with you and help you get started.
Yes, and again, that's bit.ly, just as you see it there with a capital T,
That's correct.
Treena. Let us talk. Treena, let us talk. And so, Miss Treena Edwards, Pastor Treena Edwards, I'm just so excited that you came on to help kick off the new year 2022 and the new month of international creativity. And this has been a good thing. And you said, "Well, I don't know what we're going to talk about." I'm saying, "Oh, I already can see it's
I
going to be a lot we could talk about."
I
And
do.
so I'm so glad, and I hope it was good for you,
It
and
was.
I pray that everyone that hear this, that if you know someone, you hear someone, if it's not you, it could be somebody that you know or you may hear about. Please direct them to Miss Treena because she knows how to help them to get in this thing and get in it right
That's correct.
for
Thank
the
you so
long
much.
haul.
Getting it right.
Yeah. And so, what would be your final words of wisdom or your final nugget that you would like to leave with the people tonight?
I would say just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't walk in fear. Trust God, and He will be with you all the way. That's it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I just want to also let you know that you have more in you than you think you do.
Yes.
God is pulling out of people the real. He can pull out of you the real you, the
Ooh,
you that you don't even know yourself.
all right.
We have found out things about ourselves as we allow God, and even sometimes He has to push us or pull
Mm,
us along. But even then, we're happy about it. It's
yes.
you don't even know who you can be. So lend yourself to that creativity. Lend yourself to a move of God in your life, and allow Him to show you who you really are. And
All,
be that person that's great in whatever it is God's called you to do.
all right. I
So
will.
take courage. And I want to thank you again. And just know, everyone, I'm here every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for Let's Get Acquainted. If you are interested in being on the show, you can connect with me, direct message me here on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, and you can reach me at Hillary Gooden. And those that are watching me here, please connect, follow, subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, let's get connected. I love getting acquainted with people. I'm also on every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for the Vibrant Good Health Show. And that's a show where I talk about all things that help you understand that you got the power to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life by having more vibrant health. So tune in for that show as well. And I'm going to say Happy New Year one last time, and everybody have a great evening. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.